Hello and welcome to episode 4 of our Timberborn 1.0 experimental playthrough with the Folktales faction, Cycle 7, Day 3, and I've got to hit pause immediately so I don't have to listen to the carousel music drive me insane in the next 5 seconds. So, yes, we have a carousel at the end of episode 3, beginning of episode 4. I've never built one this early. I think that's kind of fun. We've seen the well-being go up considerably higher than it typically is early on in my playthroughs. And you know what? I think that's a good change. I like where we're going with this, and I think there's a few more things we could do to get the well-being up a little bit higher. Take advantage of the buffs to get these beavers to move faster, work faster, and live longer, which of course increases efficiency across the board. So other stuff that's really, really simple and cheap to build, including contemplation spots and getting into these other types of foods as the spatterdock and the cattail, mature in our aquatic farming area, are really going to help us out. Simple aesthetic things that I typically ignore, much to the chagrin of a number of you, will be able to take care of it very nicely today. But if we take a look here in our little pond, we have cattail and spatterdock, frog ribs included, that are between half and 2/3 grown in most of this area, which means before too long we're going to want to have things set up so that they can be processed. And currently, this is where our food is being dealt with. We've got a bakery here making maple pastries, we got one here making bread, and we have a grist mill that is grinding up wheat flour. Currently, we're only using 280 HP out of the 400 that our geothermal engine is generating. And that math honestly doesn't seem quite right to me. Let's see, 120, 50, so that's 220, and that's... Oh, alright, well I guess it is. So that means one of the next things we probably should do is put in an additional grist mill, which will consume another 60 HP. That'll put us at, what, 340? Yeah, we can handle that. And I suppose, depending on how I want to build this here, this wouldn't be the worst way to do this. Wouldn't be the best way to do it, but if I just put this here so we have a nice, easy access to the rest of our food stuff and have this set to do cattail flour, then that means we're going to need to have somewhere to put cattails. Actually, you know what? I know. I just put it down and I'm going to get rid of it and do something else. This is going to make more sense for the building of storages. We have wheat flour here. It's just going to make more sense to have the cattail flour right outside. So that's cattail roots. We want the flour, which is here. And I do have a tiny bit of wheat storage here that we probably should kind of duplicate something like this with a thing for cattails. So the bakery is also where we make the cattail crackers, so you already know where this is going. I'm going to put this right here. It's kind of dumb, yeah, but it's fine. It's a unique thing at the very least. I do try to make stuff that is... Well, in this playthrough at least, I try to make stuff that's maybe a little unusual, but still kind of fun. And, you know, honestly... See, I want this to be able to get through to here, so maybe it is better if I just do one of these numbers. And then, I guess this is fine. Again, it's not perfect. It's not even close. But it'll work. It'll get us somewhere. So that's going to allow us to make the cattail crackers. The recipe, if you were not familiar, is literally just cattail flour and a little tiny piece of logs, I guess, to burn to create the fire. And then you get 4 crackers. So those have to have somewhere to go. And currently they do not have anywhere to go. Depending on how we want to have our food organized, it probably is going to make more sense to have a centralized storage for some things. Because the only food we're storing over here is bread. And, of course, the maple pastries. But those are in small quantities. Maybe, depending on how we want to do this, we could have a little tiny storage over here. Or I could just say, you know what, I'm going to do this the correct way and not put tiny things everywhere and just have a big central place. I don't know. But the way this is set up here, we're not really going to be able to put too much more on this in terms of power, so I'm not going to feel terrible if I close this in. But for where we are now, I'm just going to have this be for cattail crackers. That's going to be the easiest way to do this. We do have beavers living over here, by the way. They're not just over here. But that takes care of that. And then Spatterdock is a much, much simpler thing than we just put it in a grill. We got this here that's making grilled chestnuts. And I probably should move this around. I know that was a topic of discussion previously. But I don't want to mess with that quite at this moment. I've got regular chestnuts. I've got grilled chestnuts. If I want to do something similar, then just to make this a tiny bit easier, I can make this for regular Spatterdock. And then right next door, I can put in a grill set to grilled Spatterdock. Get this all the way across. I think that's going to make the most sense. And then I will have a place, assuming I can build the rest of this, putting in regular Spatterdock. But again, I really don't like how this is laid out. I know it's got to get moved around. But we're not quite there yet. It is what it is. I'm just going to put it here. There's no sense spending a whole bunch of time worrying about it. So that'll take care of some new food stuff. I did talk about the different well-being things. Contemplation spots, only 100 science. It's so cheap. And there is a spot right here that would probably be a decent location. And if we find a little corner somewhere over here, like right on top of... Oh, that's right. That's not actually buildable. Somewhere. Just for right now. I know this is not exactly the most peaceful, serene location for contemplation, but it's going to work for the time being. So that's plenty of stuff for them to take care of. But you guys also gave me a good idea in the comments, and that was, since we have free energy here with the geothermal engine, this would be a good location for an observatory. Because the observatory and the carousel are two of the only buildings in the game that aren't going to have substantial problems if they're not powered to 100%. So yes, the geothermal engine generates 400 HP. The carousel consumes 400 HP, so that should be, a lockdown, just everything consumed, no room for anything else. But if the carousel runs slower, it doesn't matter. They still get the same buff from it. And if the observatory runs a little slower, say 2/3, yeah, the science is going to come out slower, but the folktales don't consume science actively except for unlocks. So it's just going to take a little bit more time for us to get science out of this. Instead of 0.75 hours giving us 10, it might give us 6 or 7. Versus, over here we have these individual inventors. 1 hour, 1 science. This locks up 5 beavers all day and only gives us 5 science per hour. But even if this is at 2/3, let's just say 2/3, every 0.75 hours, it's already giving us more than if all 5 of these were going all by themselves with only 4 beavers. And it's not even close. It's a pretty substantial difference. So I think this is going to be a good thing for us to get into. We just have to have the science to unlock it. It's 1,000. And we have to have the planks, which we do. We have to have the gears, which we don't but can. And we have to have pine resin, which, last time I checked, we do. So this seems like a pretty, pretty smart choice. I would just have to move this to be in a slightly different location, or I could put it right next to this. Honestly, that's probably fine for right now just to do that. And yes, it will be not 100% efficient, but it's going to work just fine. We could be pretty happy with that. So let's prepare by putting in a power shaft right there. I know they got tons of stuff to do. Let's put this in triple speed and let them do what they've got to do. Now we get to over here, and boy, did I maybe make a couple of you guys irritated with how I have this set up. Criticism valid abounds in how I laid these water wheels out. I'm so used to water flow backing up that I did not even consider for a second the possibility of putting in levees here to direct water flow straight through these wheels. So currently how this is set up, just so we can all see, I do have this up on platforms here so it can go past this and it can go through this. How I probably should have done it was to put levees here, but again, I'm so used to the game just being absolutely punishing for restricting water flow that I did not even consider it for a second. We're probably going to redo this at some point. So at that point, that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. But then we get to the ancient aquifer drill. And more than a few of you wanted to know if this could create a perpetual motion machine as long as it had some sort of flow coming out of it. Like, say, for example, during a bad tide, turning a wheel right here at the exit, could that generate enough power to power the drill? And the answer is yes, because that's how that works. But getting it turned on without having, you know, a jump starter, so to speak, with power from something else, would require it to be a bad tide. And since I don't really want to have a whole lot of bad water coming out, I don't think I want to wait for that. And I think for how this is set up now, it's not going to be that expensive for us to just put power shafts in across here and get this going. The power input for this, by the way, is on the second level. You can see right there. It doesn't seem to show that same cog icon when I put this down here. I'm pretty sure it would still work. But for the sake of, you know, just doing stuff the way that makes sense, it would just be so fast to do this. Just get this vertical power shaft, which we would put here. And then I'm not going to do it right now because I'm trying to get the science to get the observatory built. So we'll leave that blank. We'll leave that blank, and then this can just come in through here. I'll leave this corner out so that they can build that, but then this can just come right around the outside. Just like so. I'm going to leave that so they can build that corner piece. But that's going to, you know, get this jump started and allow it to kind of be a fun thing for us to play with here. Just a single water wheel for right now. And then, you know what? Well, honestly, this is cheap enough to run. I don't think we really need to care. I don't think I can build. No, I cannot. What about a overhang? Nope. All right. Well, that's why I try this stuff. See what might make sense. And again, this is just the simplest way to do this. I'm not going to sit here and say that this is the best way to do it. Definitely not. But it's going to hopefully work out pretty well. And since this is vanilla, I don't have flywheels as much as I do love those. We don't have a great place to put a gravity battery to make sure that this is going to work during a drought either. But, you know, it's not out of the question that we could get this to just always go every time, no matter what. But now, I see 1,000 science, which means we can come in here to the observatory, get that unlocked, and pop that in right there. This, of course, cannot be built because we don't have enough logs. We're working on it. I know I've just made a huge amount of building requests here, and we're still not building all the rest of this. We don't have enough oak trees currently to take care of everything. And I know I cut down these pines as an emergency measure. These are 2/3 of the way grown back up. I do need to unmark these for cutting. Considering, though, that we have almost a full storage of pine resin, and the only pine resin we've used so far has been from the stuff that we started building today, I don't think we're going to have any problems. So, in service of getting this accomplished, I think I will cut down one more row of pines, just to get a few more logs, trying to get more of this built. But we do have oaks coming in the next couple of days that should make it possible for us to do about as much as I've been asking of these guys. And that should be pretty good. Don't have anywhere to put these metal blocks, huh? See, that hasn't been finished because it's waiting on regular logs. Well, that should help quite a bit once this is done. Again, why I'm trying to get just a little bit more out of these trees, if we can. Yeah, that'll really help speed things up. We can get across here now, and this is generating a pretty substantial amount of power. It's making 531, and this currently only needs 400 if I'm using both smelters at once. That will, of course, help jumpstart this ancient aquifer drill, which won't be at full power, but it will be doing something, which is going to generate a little tiny bit of power here, and then make it possible for this to be a thing. And now I've got science to do the vertical power shafts, which can go there and there. And we'll put that there, and then we'll put that there. And that should get us going pretty well. Let me unmark these 4 trees. So yeah, we got oaks coming in. They can get taken care of. I have an extra beaver. Let's put him in the lumberjack flag. And I think we're going to be in good shape, folks. Going to be in good shape. Yep. We are way behind. We're way behind on logs. We'll get it taken care of, though. Not worried about it. Ah, the planks have disappeared. Yes, because, of course they have. I keep using them for everything else and not even thinking about it. No, I'm building like I'm in late-game water beavers instead of early-game vanilla folktales. That has maybe not been my smartest choice. In terms of other trees, there's really not a lot. Not a lot of available trees without getting other access to places. Yeah, I may have made a little bit of a short-sighted mistake. That's fine. We'll be okay long term. I just have to be able to let these guys build what they're going to build. That storage can now be removed. We do have stuff on the ground. It's mostly scrap metal. But I think it probably would make sense for us to get these things picked up if we can at all. There we go. Even if it is just, you know, scrap metal. I see a couple of logs here and there. Oh, yeah, there's some stuff on the ground over here. That'll help us out quite a bit. We do have haulers. I know that was something people really wanted me to get into. I don't have a ton of them, but we do have some. And we now have this zipline station ready to go, which, of course, makes things just a little bit faster. I don't know... Well, we're so behind on this, I think it's probably worth, honestly, trying to get across this gap here. I don't have any bridges unlocked. So, yeah, I'm not going to get across this for any cheaper than 3 whole platforms. Alright, well, we'll do that. We'll let them start cutting down some of these trees. That should be good there. Yeah, I just have to give these guys time to get caught back up. Alright. So, yeah, that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to zoom in over here so that they can, you know, going to move on here. I'm going to just time-lapse this a little bit. Try to get a little bit of progress made so we don't have to just sit here waiting. And then when they are in the process of actually cutting these trees down and getting everything into those other buildings, we'll come back and we'll take a look at what we've got going on. Alright, so we have 1 day left until this drought comes in, and we've gotten most of these trees out of here. We haven't gotten any progress on this as expected, but I have just learned that apparently I didn't select... I thought I had. I really thought I had. But now these are both built and able to operate. We're working on storage, and most interestingly, we have the observatory, but we don't have the power shaft, so let's prioritize that just a tiny bit, get these guys in there, and then we're going to be in good shape, folks, because that means I can get rid of these inventor huts. Even though I honestly probably shouldn't. I probably should just leave them as minimum priority. But we won't need to worry about it if I decide I want to put something else here, and that's going to be nice. Yeah, we've got plenty of stuff able to be harvested here. They're in the process of getting spatterdock and cattail roots out. And I do have some in there, and I haven't built any storage over here for spatterdock, which is why that has not happened yet. But good progress is still good progress. And even though we only have 700 waters stored up, we do only have 36 beavers. And it's normal mode, so it's a maximum 9-day drought. We're going to be just fine. That being said, we do still need to build more, and that is going to be a good opportunity for us to build more medium tanks just as soon as I have more planks. We're full up on gears, which, you know, good problem to have. And this should stop at some point soon. I don't ever want to pause these, because then I forget I've paused them and bad things happen. So running up against the cap limit on our storage is a good way to kind of have insurance against that. It looks like they're just about to finish putting this power shaft in. Yeah, there we go. Observatory is ready to, well, observe. So we'll see once I can get somebody in here. We're down 10 jobs because I haven't expanded the population at all. So just for right now, let's hit pause on these inventors. Boy, am I missing the simple sounds mod that stops that from happening. Oh, hey, we're almost out of scrap metal here. I know we do still have some up here we can get to. In fact, let me just check really quick. Oh, yeah, we're in range, folks. We are in range of another zipline station, just have to build a staircase up here. But for how things are going now, I think we should probably cool it on any of the expansion for a little bit longer until we can get some more wood in place. So yeah, I need more housing for beavers. So the logical next step is to put something over here. And I've created kind of an unfortunate situation here. But we can use this to our advantage. And we can hide something in here that's going to give them a buff. If I can get this to sit in right. Oh, wow, I forgot this takes 50 logs. Maybe not. I was thinking, oh, I could put a beaver statue in there, and then on top of that put a platform and then build a... Okay, no. That's not going to work. But you know what will work is a shrub. First 20 science. I know it's 12 logs, but you hide the shrub under here. Guess what? Oh, is that not going to fit? That will, the double platform, for 150 science. You pop that bad boy in there. And then what can you do under here? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Because I can put another house. I can put one this way with another pathway coming in here. And then put a guy on top. Or I can say, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put this double lodge here. Which honestly might be the better option. So I don't have to have other pathing stuff happen here. We'll do that. I know it's ugly, but it's different. It's something. We still don't have anybody in here, so what can I do here? I don't think, honestly, I need to have 3 beavers in each efficient farmhouse. I probably don't need to have 4 beavers in the district center either. But I think what's going to make the most sense is to pause one smelter, because we're full up on metal blocks anyway. I don't think that's going to be a problem. It's not quite getting us there. I'm going to, I guess, keep these guys at 4. I'm going to take out of... Oh, it's already had only 2. Okay, I'll take 1 more beaver out of the farmhouse, just for right now. And that gets me down to -3, which should put a single beaver in the observatory, which... as I said earlier, is going to be at 67% speed. But still going to make science. And that's about all we can ask for. So, triple speed we go. About to have our drought coming in. And I think we're going to be in good shape. I'm just going to raise this floodgate here and here so that we don't pump out the middle bit here. So we can still have some irrigation. I don't think we're going to be able to pump this dry in cycle 7 anyway with 2 of these things going on. 8-day drought. Should be okay. Honestly, I probably should just pause these, but you know how it goes. I've got storage for Spatterdock, which means these guys can start putting that out there. The grill is in the process of being built, and our well-being is up to 19. Feeling pretty good about this. Wet fur is also something we do need to take advantage of. And there was at least one comment that suggested we run the main pathing through our lake here so they get that wet fur bonus. And while, yes, that is a good idea, I think we might be better served putting in a shower or a Lido somewhere. And the shower would take up only a single spot. And I think I could put it right here. Well, being a 21, that's looking good. Yes, 42 things do not have construction materials, and that is mostly all of this here. We will get there. But this Spatterdock, once harvested, will not be replanted, and then at that point in time, I can put a shower there. Be super easy for these guys to take care of, and move on from there. So where does that leave us now? 7 days left in the drought. We are making science, technically. Is it slow? Yes. But it's one beaver, and it's giving us a whole lot more efficiency, even at this lower speed, than having 5 or 4 or 3 or whatever beavers over there. And now we can make spatterdock if somebody would work there. So what I will do for right now, I will pause this other water pump. I'm not going to pause all 3 of them, because you know what's going to happen if I do that is I'm going to forget, and then it's going to be, oh, why are we out of water? Oh, well, you know, now it's too late. I probably... Yeah, I'll leave that at 1 beaver. And I see. I don't want to prioritize these. Well-being of 22. That's encouraging. What can I do to get this guy in here? All right. I will go down to 3 beavers in the district center. There we go. Now we got somebody who's going to make grilled spatterdock. Yep, out it comes. We should see these beavers munching on that stuff very shortly. Storage for that, of course, is right there. Yeah, see, we've already made such a huge improvement in just the first 30 minutes of an episode. And that feels good. They haven't gotten to this yet. I think we're going to have to go through a little bit more spatterdock. Yes, I know I could just come in with the mark resources for demolition thing and say, well, get out of there, but I don't know. Something just feels wrong about doing that with food. So while they're working on that, and I know this is, you know, taking a day and a half to get done, why don't we talk about what our next source of clean water, permanent source of clean water, is going to be? Because it's not going to be this. High score 24. Wow. Yeah. See, this feels good doing this in episode 4, not episode 24. This is going to put out clean water during, well, clean water times, and bad water during bad water times, which, you know, isn't different from any other source. But we have these fun new toys to play with in the aquifers. Is that down under here, or where was the closest one? Okay, well, there's one right here. There's one over here. And I guess outside of that one, that's the closest one. Yeah, see, I think we're going to want to get rolling on this. Maybe today, maybe not today. I know we have the drills here. They're not incredibly expensive. But see, this is 400 HP to have one of our normal ones, whereas the ancient ones take 200. I don't know what the difference in production is, and I probably won't ever fully understand that. So, while I am very excited to try and build on this, I think we might hold off on that for a little bit. Let's take advantage of what we have going on here. We are close to a zipline station, so it's probably going to be in our best interest to make a concerted effort to get stuff pumped out of here if we can. Get some larger storages built up and move on from there. They can't reach these. Alright, let's help them out. Put in a path that way. And I'm pretty sure once this is started, if we have this set up correctly, I could carve out a little bit of space along this cliff for a very simple gravity battery. Hey, guess what? We're out of scrap metal here. Okay, good problem to have, I guess. This has not yet been fully connected. I will put that there. So, actually, yeah, this right here, if I build on top of it, it's not going to power everything. So what I really should have done is instead this one done a vertical power shaft. Because I only need one. I only need... No, not there. Then what I do is I unlock this guy, which we should not have any problem building. And I can put a gravity battery right here. And yes, it's ugly, but it will work. And it will be something that we can actually use. 3 days left in our drought here. We are about halfway. Yeah, a little less than halfway on our water level. And this has actually, this has gone down faster than the rest of this. So I guess we probably should have left this alone. Not that this, what I'm doing right now, matters, but, huh. Interesting food for thought there. We're getting closer and closer and closer to having this spatterdock removed. So I suppose that is a good situation to find ourselves in. They'll take care of that when they get the materials. Once again, we're waiting for some trees to come in. We do need to plant more trees. This is not going to sustain us if we're continuing to build stuff and build stuff and build stuff. So we'll have to figure that out at some other point in time. But we need to make some inroads toward this set of ruins here. And while regrettably I do not have a woodwork shop yet, I think... See, I never build this stuff this early because I'm always afraid of rushing to the point where it's not going to be possible to actually, do stuff that makes sense. I just need to move this here. And then I've got space right here, if I wanted to put a woodwork shop that takes 250 HP, mind you, in this same area. And honestly... Oh, wait, I can just build this on the other side. Okay, easy. Oh, I don't have 800 science. Oh, okay, well, we'll come back. We'll come back and do that later. But I do think I want to have the spiral staircases coming up here. One, because they're really cool. Two, because it's a new feature we haven't played with yet, and I know you guys really like to see that in these early videos on the new updates. So, we got 1.2 days left. You know what? It's looking like we might actually suck all this water out, so I'm going to pause that pump. And let's just hope we don't run out of water, because it's going to be really annoying if I have to replant all of this stuff. Alright, beavers. All I ask of you today is that you get this one piece of spatterdock out so I can put my shower in place. I know those of you who are the big fans of the showers are really going to want to see that going. And, yep, the one beaver making slow science is still better than having 4 or 5 of them over here. Wait a minute. I've got extra beavers. I've got extra beavers. That was the wrong button. I wanted to click this. Yeah, let's get in there. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, get those guys up. That's got the 2 beavers. I've got 2 extra beavers, which can get us back on track with the farmhouse. And yeah, there you go. Looking good. Looking good. And the water hasn't gone away. It's very close, though. And how about that? We got all the way through an 8-day drought with basically no problems. Now, I know that this is going to be upside down again once I turn both these pumps back on. But it's fine, because now we have 8 children. 7. I looked at a 7 and I said 8, so you know that's the state of my mind at this point. But now we're looking good. And I think this means our... oh, why can't I click on the icon? I have to click on the text. That's the wrong one. There we go. This guy's done. So now... Well, we're not even, but we're getting pretty close. Alright, so clean water comes back in, surging out the floodgates as expected. Up to 600-something science, which means we're going to have the 800 necessary for the woodwork shop in pretty short order. And this is not rotating because why? Oh, because there's no there's no water going through here because this hasn't gone all the way up yet. And by that hasn't gone all the way up yet, I mean, see, that's a blockage. This has to come. Ah, this has to come from up here. I always forget just how much we have going on. Well, that's set back up where it's supposed to be. Injured beaver. Who's injured? Okay. Well, we have medical beds, so go ahead, lay down, and let me know how you feel in the morning. Hey, guess what? This is getting its power, and this is generating, as of right now, 134-ish, 133, 134, which is almost enough to power this by itself. Almost. So I'm going to leave this connected for right now. 1, because it has a gravity battery, and this whole network can depend on that. 2, because this can all share everything. And when I have my woodwork shop in just a moment, this will almost be able to power every single item with no issues. It feels like it's been a long time since we've had a playthrough go this smoothly, this early, and not have to have any drama about stuff going poorly. 26! When's the last time I got to 26 in episode 4? That feels good. Alright, I'm going to put a little warehouse here just for the pine resin. And then I'm going to put a pile right outside the door and make that for treated planks. Look at us go. Oh man, I love this. And now we just have to get to 350 science to get those spiral stairs. And then, friends, we can get up here. That's going to be fantastic. I love to see that. Now, this is still... Yeah, it's going all the way up. It looks like we're not going to get any more than 133 out of this. Unless we make a channel and then we have additional water wheels lined up here. But what we can do, without doing too much else, is I can put one of these guys right here and just have this tap directly into what we've got going on. And that is going to be tremendous. There we go. There we go. I do need them to be able to build this first, so I'm not going to have this connected all the way just yet. But that is going to be quite nice once that's up and ready to go. Looks like this can be finished tomorrow in-game as well. And we have our... Wow, we get these science quick now, huh? Spiral stairs unlocked. Very cool. Now I just have to figure out how to get up here without it looking completely insane. So this doesn't have to be spirals at the top. But I think it's going to be in our best interest to make this look as interesting as possible. So I'm going to go regular stairs. And then as we go down, I guess I might make something that is kind of impractical but still looks interesting. Follows the contours here. I'm going to need to have 200 science, which I just got for the triple platform. Or, you know, honestly, I could have just built 2 doubles. That is probably the better way to do it. Now I can come... I did not want to do that. Thank you, autosave. Now let's get in here with our spiral stairs. Okay, when these flip, these are flipping on an axis I am not familiar with. That is not the fault of the spiral stairs themselves. Looks like this now is going to go here. And I can either... I mean, that still looks kind of cool, right? Probably. I can go straight out, which makes the most sense, or I can put a spiral staircase there. But this is going to get me up to the land of the scrap metal. I got 5 extra beavers. Wowee, what a bonus. Let's just put 2 scavenger flags up here. That should be fine. Give them a nice pile for scrap metal right at the top. And that should help us out. These extra beavers are immediately going to go into the hauling post. I'll have 6 of those to counter that. We've got that right there. Look at us go. We're already making treated planks, and it's episode 4. Is it just me, or has this game gotten a whole lot easier? Says the guy who has like 1,600 hours in it and has published 30 different series on YouTube playing this game. I played a lot of Timberborn, guys. I played probably objectively too much of this game, but I'm having a great time, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Let's get these tanks emptied, and I'm going to put another one of these medium tanks in place, increase our capacity just a touch. There we go. That's empty. That's empty. Let's grab this. And I don't need to butt those up against each other, so that's fine. I'll set this to empty as well, and then I can either put a 3rd medium warehouse or I can put another one of these medium tanks. I think probably the smart thing to do is put another medium tank there. And then we'll figure out what else we're going to be getting ourselves into when that time comes. This needs to be set for water. I keep forgetting about the duplication thing. Man, I know that's going to disappoint some of you. So this is ready to get connected here. And this one's making 133, just like this one said it would. That'll get us in such a good situation. Man, I'm having a great time with this. I'm having such a good time. Can you tell? And now I can put another zipline station in. Right here. Which may not be the most efficient place for that to go, but I think is going to be fine. Put a connection into that. That is going to be pretty cool, having this connect in some convenient locations. Yeah, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Let's get that popped in before it becomes an issue. Treated planks are looking good. Well-being-wise, so we've got all the food types. Wet fur. Oh, did they take my thing out? They did. They did. Okay, shower time. Let's go. Now you can get wet fur and get clean at the same time. And I don't have space for a Lido yet. However, we have this space right here that's pretty much perfect for one. Maybe not long term, but for right now, should do just fine. Again, it's not super close to the zipline station, but we can do one of these numbers here. Just get it nice and connected. I hope this is deep enough for this. I guess we'll find out. This is pretty shallow. So we may need to make some modifications. I may need to put in a floodgate here that will raise this above, say, 0.4 or whatever the limit is. But I'm not opposed to doing that. Other well-being things. Herbalist just makes the antidote. If you don't get contaminated, then you don't need that. The Agora is going to require that we have bad water processing, which we haven't gotten into yet. And at this point in this episode, probably going to want to save that for the next one. Detailer, same kind of deal. Now, the dance hall, if we had 1200 science, would be a great addition. Mud pit, when has the mud pit been 1800 science? How much research does it take to dig a hole in the ground and put mud in it? Oh, man. I don't remember that being there. Banners. Okay, I need to get the custom images installed for that. I've got some fun things you guys have requested. We'll do banners soon. Monuments. You know, I don't have enough wood. No. Oh, wait. The folktales have the contamination barrier that still allows irrigation. Because I normally play with the Iron Teeth, which means that you'll only get clean water if you have any communication of irrigation across stuff, which the irrigation barrier does not allow. The contamination barrier does. So let's put this in. Let's get one of these going. Because now what I can do is I can actually grow trees up here, since this is connected now. Yeah, you know what? I think this is going to be too low to be usable. I don't think this is going to be a viable thing. Let's take this out. I know we just talked about building that, but what I can do is I can come down here instead, and we can use... why is the game paused? We can use spiral staircases. Can you tell I love these things? Oh, look how cool. Look how cool it is to do that in the base game. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. There you go. And because of the flow direction, this is not going to be contaminated. Unless this is. And the beavers won't go in it if it's contaminated. So, problem solved. But now, what I was going to say earlier is that we could take our contamination barriers and just go all the way across this mess. And depending on how we want to run things here, I do have not really much of a need to be up here. But that would be a good place to put a forester so that we could actually plant stuff. I'll just pop that in that spot there. This will let the clean water irrigate here, and when the bad water comes in, then it won't irrigate, and the trees will start drying out. But this is normal mode where you cannot kill a tree if it's next to an irrigation spot that becomes contaminated, if you have contamination barriers, because the period of bad tides is not long enough to kill most trees, assuming they don't get contaminated. I know that probably didn't make any sense, but it made sense in my head, and sometimes that is what actually matters. So let's make this possible to do. There, that is going to allow me, I know it's not the most efficient method of doing this, but that's going to allow me to go around here, and this area should essentially be impossible to contaminate. So you know what this means? It means it's oak time. You know, that's another thing you got to think about. in the Pokemon games, Red and Blue. The only people who live in Pallet Town are Ash, his mom, Professor Oak, and a couple other people. Like, you know as soon as... Anyway, I think you can read between the lines. So, moving on. We're going to let them get into that and plant some oak trees. I cannot... Oh, that shouldn't be funny. I should not be laughing at that. But you know that's exactly what happened. So, yeah, moving on. We've got the... Oh, I need to be stopped. Okay, we're at about 49 minutes. Yeah, this is a pretty good time to start wrapping today's episode up. Man, I am so excited about this. I think this is easily the most I've gotten into the tech tree and well-being and all this stuff and new features. It's the fastest I've ever done it after any Timberborn update. We haven't done everything that's new yet, but we've gotten into some of the really cool stuff, and I honestly am having just so much fun with this, and I hope you are too. So we'll let them continue building these things while we do our end of episode fun. It truly is not possible to do all these videos without the support of the Beard Boosters, who do directly subsidize everything on the channel here, make it possible to do the videos without sponsors, and just have fun playing the game. Not worry quite so much about the algorithm or anything like that. And once again, just enjoy the process of playing the game, not chasing any whatever, just having fun. And that's how I want to do things here. It's always how I want to do things here. And those folks truly do make it possible. And you do too, even if you're not on that list. Just you choosing to watch this video, even if it's the only one you ever see on my channel. I'm so glad you decided to pop in today and share the past 50 minutes and 56 seconds with me. I truly mean it. So, whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, I hope you stay safe and have fun. And we'll see you back again soon for more Beaver fun with this series and the other 3 we're currently doing. But yeah, that's all the time I got. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.